Perfect. Thank you guys for hopping in. So today, we actually have Mike helping us out doing some training with the new final expense leads. These are absolutely clutch because, of course, like the starting point for new agents, you want to make sure they have a fresher lead coming in at the right price point. So these are definitely a good entryway in. I've been hearing a lot of agents selling these too, so I haven't tried them just yet. I tried the original beta ones, so these are a lot newer than the ones I originally tried. So I'm always down to pick up some more games. So, Mike, if you want to get us started.
Yeah, so like me personally, I've had probably had my team's probably sick of it now. I've probably used like five different scripts right now. Like as far as like as we kind of work through like getting these kind of up and going, right? Because obviously like with normal like if you do a Facebook one, which is like 15, $20 a lot of times for the lead, there's a lot more information on it, right? Where this one there's a lot less information, so that's you gotta get a little creative to get them on the phone and remembering like that they filled something out, right? So I think something that's super important that's not talked about probably enough is speed to lead. Because if they remember doing something 10 minutes ago, like you're gonna have a lot better chance than like especially older people. Like they click on it and fill so much stuff out. So I think it's really, really important. The speed to lead is gonna really help you guys get into more presentations. Because the biggest thing that I hear a lot of is like, hey, you know, you'll call, 20, 25, talk to like 20, 25 people in a day and not really have any presentations. Um,
Mhm.
and I think kind of like what ET had just, said, like the biggest thing is like getting past like that first like 15 seconds. If you can get past that first 15 to 20 seconds, you're going through the presentation. But a lot of times what a lot of the scripts are set up to do is you end up doing a lot of talking for the first 30 seconds and not asking any questions. And what happens is you just sound like every other person that's calling them, right? Anthony, these are like fresh. They come in like as soon as um, like I've submitted my order and I got some within like 10 minutes and they were fresh from the time. I'm sorry, it was about an hour from the time that I actually submitted um, the payment.
It's clutch.
So like that first 30 seconds is like make or break. So a lot of times when you're just reading a script, they just hang up on you. And which is obviously frustrating for an agent because they're not getting any presentations, right? So what I so yesterday I jumped on the phone, uh, called like through like 20, the first 20 leads there, and first four didn't really get anywhere with. They didn't even give me a chance to like get through any of it, right? And then the one person like so someone answered, and so I just kind of went through and asked a question. I was just like, "Hey Malik, how you doing today?"
Good, good.
Good. And Malik, I was giving you a quick call. I just saw you had filled out some information on final expense coverage. Malik, who are you looking to protect with the coverage?
That would be my son.
Your
Yeah, my
son? Okay.
son. Mhm.
How many kids you got, Malik?
I got two. My son's four, and then my daughter's two.
Okay. Is your son, is he just like your favorite child or what's going on?
How's it going? No, no, I'm definitely looking to protect the both of them.
The both of them. Okay. He just got the
Mhm.
older one, so you kind of put him as the main beneficiary. Okay.
Yep.
Perfect.
hmm
Now Malik, what kind of had you looking into coverage like this?
It's a great starter. You know what? Family member that passed, and they didn't have anything in place, so it was a little bit tough on them. So I want to make sure we're not doing any, sort of, fundraising, so to speak, for something that was to happen to me.
I'm sorry to hear that, man. Were they
hmm
uh, were they pretty close to you?
Yeah, yeah. This was one of my cousins that ended up passing.
Oh man, that's
Had a
terrible.
couple kids as well. Yeah.
And you said you didn't have any kind of coverage in place.
No, yeah, unfortunately not at the time. I guess he has something in the past, maybe something didn't work out, but yeah, nothing in place currently.
Gotcha. Okay.
Mhm.
Um, and so you got you and the family kind of left to pick up the pieces there.
Yeah, yeah, it was pretty much up to us to go ahead and take care of, all the end expenses there. So it was a little bit tough on us coming out of pocket for that.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah. So you're just kind of again being a good father and just want to make sure that again make sure that doesn't happen. Your
hmm
kids are in that situation if something happens to you.
That is correct, yeah.
Okay.
hmm
Perfect. Okay. Um, now is this your first time going through like a process like this to apply for coverage?
Um, this is pretty new to me. It's my first time.
Okay. So like good thing about me, I'm a broker and I work with every insurance company in the state
Hmm.
that offers any kind of final expense or life insurance coverage. So I do all the shopping around and to make sure we find something that is kind of exactly what you're looking for. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Perfect. Now, Malik, so there are three things that I try to accomplish on every call. Number one, I try to find something that you can qualify for,
Okay.
just kind of my job here, right?
Hmm.
Number two, I try to find something you can completely understand, and so you know exactly how it works.
Okay.
And then number three, I try to find something that is affordable, so month to month, it will fit easily within the budget. So most of my clients feel
So,
comfortable moving forward with the application process when we can accomplish all three of those. Does that sound like you?
yeah, that sounds about right there. Hmm.
Okay, perfect. Now, Malik, are you looking to cover a burial or a cremation?
This will be a cremation.
Cremation. Okay,
Hmm.
perfect. All right. And then from there, I get right into the financial inventory.
I like that.
So I think the biggest thing, guys, like there's a lot of different scripts out there. The biggest thing is like, again, like Ethan was talking about, you're if you can get it to like past that first 30 seconds, you're generally good. But it's a lot of like interactive, and that's how you're going to keep them on the phone, asking them questions, building rapport with them a little bit, especially when it's there, right? I think anything you can kind of do right at the beginning to get them, because like people will buy when they like and trust you. So both of those kind of have to be accomplished on every call, because you can get someone who maybe like again likes the product, but if they're buying you. So that's where
Hmm.
like the second half is when I'm selling myself as the best person to when something happens to them to take care of their family.
Hmm.
Because again, they've looked around. A lot of times people have gone through stuff, heard stuff. So I have to sell me on the best person that is going to take care of them when something happens. So I'm building, getting to like me at the beginning. The second half is really like getting them to understand the product and make sure they understand all this.
Let's see. I think you had a couple questions in here, Mike.
Yeah.
Anthony, he said it right, but are they actually submitting the form within the hour? I know the delivery of the leads take a few hours.
From what I've like when I've dealt like so what happens, I've talking to Strong Point about this. What happens is when someone puts a lead order in, like they open up the portal for people to like fill stuff out.
Mm.
So that's where like your order will get filled. Like my order got fulfilled probably within about an hour.
Wow.
Like my whole like as far as like so I bought a batch of 500 and so I had
Mhm.
100 come in within an hour. And every like person I talked to like they again didn't really give me pushback as far as like fill. I mean, you have some people that do, but for the most part like they're filling it out live. That's why I think the speed delete is so important when you're calling these.
Um, okay, Ethan, I saw you put that line in there. Hey, this is Ethan. I was just curious if you could just possibly help me out here for a moment. I'm just getting back to you about the coverage you're looking into that pays out if you die or get sick. We have the email. Okay, so you go and confirm. That's pretty fire. Let's screenshot
Yeah.
that. Um, okay, Jonathan asks, how many states do you have on there? Do you have a good amount of states in there?
I had put so it's different. So obviously, guys, like if you're working like this the $50 lead, like for the mortgage, you're gonna want like obviously a good amount of states. With these, I think I put 5 states. I had put as my main ones, I'd put like I think Indiana and Louisiana, I think is what I
Mm,
or Indiana and Texas, something like
those are the
that.
ones that work.
Louisiana, and I think I selected five, and then Ohio and Michigan as well.
Came in pretty darn fast.
Yeah, they're
Um,
coming in pretty quick.
so, okay, so, hey, Anthony, did that answer your question? I saw you put another. You said I'm asking when the client actually filling out the form. Did that answer your question, Ant? You're on here.
Yeah, I mean they're filling it out like right then and there, like, and then we receive it.
Mm-hmm. Ethan, one thing I say for sure with these leads is to have a strong follow-up game. Yeah, for sure. These people are old and sometimes just randomly hang up for no reason. Call them back the next day. Okay, so just stay on them and just pick up right where you left off. I had one that took 3 days to close, and she kept apologizing because things. That's awesome. Great persistency. Kept following up. Tanner, how are you filtering out the time wasters? That's a good one. Where do you know when to call it quits with the client?
So I think with clients, if they're like, if I have zero control and they're just like again for one earlier that was just that I was talking to, and they're like, I have no money at all. I have no money at the left of the end of the month. We're not wasting our time with those ones. Like we're moving on pretty quick, right? Like you'll know like within the first like couple of minutes. I'm looking for the people that need my help really. Like that
Hmm.
will give the time of day. If I'm constantly fighting with them, like I'm not really gonna get anywhere with that. I'm moving on from them. So.
It's tough with the internet lead. Like if you're not forcing your way into that presentation, like I mean, you have so many that came in. Like you're just looking for the diamonds to get out, get in, get out, gets the next pack. But definitely staying persistent and keep calling them though for sure. So I did like that. Even on the follow up game, that was strong.
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, that one.
Yeah, Anthony, these are coming in like live. Like, that's why my order, like it won't all they don't just dump every single one of them, but within like I mean it's just such a big campaign that they have. That's why they're able to fulfill them so quick.
What info do they come with, Mike, on the
Let
request?
me actually pull it up. I think I have it right here. It's like name, address.
Okay,
Here you go. Yeah, name, phone number, obviously, email, and address.
okay, that's actually pretty solid for internet lead.
Yeah. And then obviously, like, yeah, the more you guys buy, the cheaper the lead gets.
Hmm. Okay, Justin, I've been getting a lot of, I just got this taken care of last week, or someone just came to the house. Hmm. What do you think about that, Mike?
So a lot of times that's just a smoke screen. Like they actually haven't
Yeah.
like taken anything, so if they're like, hey, I just got this taken care of. Like perfect, Malik. That's exactly why I'm calling. So just so I can go and close out your file so you can stop getting these calls, what was the name of the carrier that they ended up putting you with? And like the one
Probably
last
wouldn't
week
know.
that I was talking to you, right? It was like, oh, well, actually, my son's the one that takes care of this. So they told me they put it in place, but then when I put it that way, like she
Hmm.
immediately pivoted to son. I'm like, okay, so is your son your beneficiary if something were to happen to you? And then she was like, yes. I was like, okay. And so, if so, he'd be the one kind of picking up the pieces if something were to happen to you. Okay, perfect. So my job's pretty simple, and I just went through and I ended up going through the presentation and going all the way through.
Okay, yeah. The reason why I ask is like I'll get there and then, I'm asking, oh, perfect. This makes my job easier. How much coverage do they set you up with? And they'll tell me some random number maybe, and I'm kind of looking like on the quarter just to make sure it's something that could be legit. And then they'll tell me the price. I'm like, oh, it's not. You're not, getting charged arm and a leg, are you? And then they'll tell me. So a lot of times they don't remember what they got set up for. They don't know, what policy they got set up, how much coverage, and I'm like, that's not. So you just signed up for something and you don't know what you're paying. Does your beneficiary know about this? And I try to weasel my way in there a little bit just to figure out if this is a smoke screen or if they just truly don't know because they're all old. And
So I'll ask them how long ago did you put the policy in place
Hmm.
as
so a
well.
lot
If
of times
they're
I get
like,
that last.
oh, a year ago, then I know that they had, okay, so you were you looking into were you just looking for a cheaper price or were you looking to add a little bit more coverage, leasing behind to cover additional funeral expenses or what was kind of on your mind?
Mm, okay.
Like you're just digging to try to get like something to like hook onto.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Hmm.
trying. Yeah, especially because
Yeah.
like I said, I keep getting with that. Yeah, we just got this taken care of last week, and it's like I get stuck there and I can't get past that hump to. All right, this is what I got here. Let's
Yeah, if they
compare.
just they just took care of it last week, like
Mm.
that's why the speed delete, like I'm trying to call these as soon as they come in. So if I do get that objection there, like that's when I'm just like I know like I'm gonna ask what carrier it was.
And when they don't know any of that stuff.
They're like, yeah, I don't know. Okay, now, did you ever receive a policy packet in the mail? Or have they taken out the first premium? Nope, nope. Okay. That's a little concerning that you haven't
Yeah.
received anything or no money's been taken out. Because a lot of times what I find in doing this is a lot of clients that I sit with, they ended up submitting an application, but they didn't get approved for the coverage. Do you know the difference
Mm,
between being qualified and actually approved for coverage?
Let's see.
And
I
if it's
got you.
here, I'll try to like, or again, if it's a policy that I know like, you know, that I can do better on, then I'll obviously go through that process as well
The
to
last lady I
I
just
can put them
had
in a better
before
spot.
I got you. Last lady I had before we hopped on the call here, she said she set up something last week. She wasn't sure how much she had. And going back to Tanner's point on when you know when to call it quits, I mean, could have ran through the whole thing and then maybe showed her numbers and she could have hit me with the, oh, well, I still need to make sure, with the policy I got in the mail, can you call me back? That was is the gamble of getting to that or just watch it right then and there and call her next week, you
Yeah, I
know?
mean, I think if it's tough, they don't have the policy, they really don't know, but they possibly did put something in place. I think that's one I would just possibly just follow up with. Because
Mhm.
I always tell myself, I try to sell myself again. It's like, hey, look, my job legally, I can't put you in a worse position. So it is
Yeah.
really important because sometimes I sit with clients and I'll tell them the story about an accidental, like a friend of the family who had 8 daughters, and he had 3 policies in place, and when he passed away, they were all accidental. When he was healthy enough to qualify for regular life insurance.
Mm.
And I'm like, so my job, look, Justin, I legally can't put you in a worse position. So my job is going to go through it. And if I can put you in a better position, I'll tell you. And if it's a great policy, I'll let you know that as well. So I know
So
this, yeah, and I just try to win them over a little bit like that, but it's giving them that information. I'm like, look, let me review it with you. If it's a great policy, I'll be the first one to tell you it's a great policy and we'll move on. But if I can save you a lot of money and or put you in a way better position and way better coverage, then I'll do that too.
I got you.
100%. Yeah, Justin, I would definitely start like Mike was saying. Even I'll see Klaus put it in there as well, starting with who did you get the coverage through instead of jumping right to price, because the price debate is a little bit tough. I'm more prompting like emotional questions. So I think that'll be a better way in for sure. Thanks, Klaus.
Yeah.
Um, so with the 500, how many did you get through so far, Mike?
They came in last night. I've spread some out to a couple
Shoot,
different agents as
nice.
well. So
Okay,
I'll let you know at the end of the week what we end up turning them.
100%.
So
Okay.
yeah. What I just love it, it gives you guys so much opportunity. It's $1,000 for a 500 leads. It would cost me $1,000.
Mm-hmm. It's a great,
So
great
it's like,
price
dude,
point.
that's so many leads, right? Like if I can't personally calling through that, if I can't close 10K off that, then like there's
Mhm.
so much opportunity in there.
Actually, yeah, I saw Claudia was calling them. Oh, she just posted. Let me see. She was
Let's
calling them
go.
yesterday. So my stats, 170 calls so far, 57 pickups. That's pretty darn high. 7 appointments, 5 prezzies, 3 closes. She's dogging it.
Let's
I'm
go.
honest. Claus, how many did you grab 500 or 250?
I have 425 total.
425. Okay.
Yeah. So I was just calling last week whenever I was able to at the AZ lock-in.
That's so clutch. Okay. I'm sure it's giving the new agents plenty of hope too at that price point. You sold me, Mike. I'm buying.
If you want, I'll go through the second half of it of the script.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
during the FI, this is a line that I think Ryan uses a lot. I added in there during like as you're kind of like I'm kind of with the flow of the financial inventory. I'll say now, now Malik, most of my clients, um, not looking to make anyone, they're not making to really look anyone. Let me restart that. Most of my clients, we're not looking to make anyone necessarily rich, but at the
Okay.
same time, uh, not wanting to leave behind a burden for those that they love and care for. Does that kind of sound like you?
Can you say it one more time? I'm gonna have to write that down. That's
Yeah, I'll
fire.
say, hey, so Malik, most of my clients, they're not necessarily looking to make anyone rich, but at the same time, they're not wanting to leave behind a burden for those they love and care for. Is that sound like kind of like you?
Yeah, yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay, perfect. Well, I'll make sure that
Fire.
we find something that fits that for you today.
It's a great line. Okay.
And then once I'm through the financial inventory, um, I really want to make sure clients like there's no confusion because confused people don't buy, right? So I'm trying to like eliminate any confusion for the client. Um, so I'll say, okay, so perfect. Let's see here. So yeah, so Malik, I'm going to explain to you exactly how this coverage works. So if you are going to grab that pen and paper that we talked about earlier, I'll wait for them to grab that, right? And then I'll say, okay,
Okay.
so number one, the way this policy works, number one, this is permanent coverage,
Uh,
meaning this policy will never expire,
uh,
right? It's for your entire life. All right. So any
uh,
questions on that?
No, I think that makes sense. Yeah.
Okay. Also, something that a lot of my clients really like about the policy will never go up on you as you get
Okay.
older. So these
Okay.
monthly premiums, they're what's called level premiums.
Hmm.
So that way you always gonna know what to budget off of month in, month out. Okay.
Gotcha. Okay. So it stays the same.
All right, perfect. Um, and then Malik, this is based on what you give me so far, this is gonna be day one coverage.
Okay.
So
Day
there's
one.
not like a 2 year waiting period for you to get coverage. Is gonna be day one coverage. So if something
Gotcha.
happens tomorrow, Malik,
Hmm.
your son's gonna receive that check.
Okay.
Okay. And then number four, this one's really important that I would like to educate my clients on. This policy, because it's private coverage, is completely tax free.
Okay.
So that
That's
when
right.
you pass away, your family's gonna get every penny, and Uncle Sam gets nothing. Right?
Okay.
Can't get a Grammy pause on a dollar of this, right? So, which is important because instead of leaving behind a bunch of cash to your family,
Hmm.
which can be taxed, right? You're gonna leave behind a policy that does not get taxed at all. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. I like how you explain that too. That's important.
Yeah. Because a lot of
Okay.
times I get clients that'd be like, oh, I'll just leave behind money. I can leave behind cash to them, right? But I always tell them like,
Hmm.
hey, so that's why I kind of get ahead of it a little bit and be like, hey, this is gonna be a tax-free death
Hmm.
benefit.
I like that.
And so
What?
I'm like, I need you to do something really important for me. I need you to save my name and phone number in your contacts. You can just save me as Mike, the insurance guy. Can you set add that real quick to your contacts?
I like that. I use that for sure. That's some shit. Okay. Yeah, I got you covered, Mike.
Okay. And make sure you send my contact info to your beneficiary.
Okay.
To make sure that they know to contact me when, God forbid, you pass away, so I can
Okay.
ensure that your family gets that payout as quickly as possible.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
Okay, so yeah, once you send that over, let them know again who you're dealing with, so
Hmm.
that they can contact me because it's really important. A lot of life insurance never gets claimed,
Hmm.
so I need to make sure that once we get the policy mailed out to you, they're aware of it, they know like where it's at and all that, and then they can always contact me to make sure that when something happens, I'll be the one that's going to be taking care of it. Okay.
Okay. I was gonna say too, what I'm really a fan of, like, and I hope you guys are catching on, like what Mike is doing. One, he's getting out of my mouth. He found the true why immediately when he got on the phone. But also, like the most important part is like and I can feel like his rhythm of like he's waiting to hear confirmation from me. So like he's listening heavy on like the vibrational cues the whole way through the conversation. Because like if you miss some of those, like you'll keep going with the presentation and they probably didn't hear the last 15 seconds of what you said because they might have had an objection or they might have had a question there. It's like you can feel that, I'm right there with you all the way through the presentation. Like that's cool.
Yeah, and guys, the whole thing of like going through that line where I just went through is I just need to make sure like I'm being assumptive right there. I'm having them save my phone number. I'm having them like send it over. I want them to like go through that process, and like hopefully at this point I've gotten them comfortable enough with me that
Hmm.
they're obviously already thinking about putting a policy in place anyways. It's another thing that I'm trying to do to tie it down and get them to like trust me through the process.
My bad, guys. I didn't check the chat. Um, it says, Mike, do you have a script? I know we're going in between a couple or clause. Do you guys have a script?
I have this. I'm reading off the script right now that I print.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. So,
That was
um,
fun.
yeah, I can always share it if anyone wants it.
100%. Okay. I think someone asked about tech because these leads are opt-in. Yeah, you can text these leads. That's what I heard.
Yeah.
Yeah, so these are textable leads as well, guys. So let's come through script. Yeah, we'll drop the link for the scripts. Just want to make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay. So yeah, in terms of the lead, yeah, I'm definitely gonna grab quantity. So I'll grab a bunch of them and then just go through them. I'm excited to work them because I want my agents to get into these. It's a great price point, but it's hard for me to like tell them, hey, go buy these without me doing it. So I'm just gonna have to supplement it with the $50 lead at this point.
Yeah. So I have a last little bit on here. So
Hmm.
I'll say, hey Malik, what questions do you have for me?
I see, open it up. So if something happened to me, say a couple weeks, would that pay out to the family?
Yeah, that again, that's my job, and that's where based off everything you've given me. Obviously, I unfortunately I can't officially approve or decline. I that approve everyone, right?
Mhm.
So we have to submit that application. But yeah, if everything gets good and you're approved, then it'd be day one coverage for you.
Okay. Taking a look, I think what's gonna work best is that silver option. I think that
Okay.
was the 5,000 option. I think that was right in my budget there.
Okay. So I haven't gone through I'll go through the pricing. I have a couple more lines before that.
Oh, my bad.
Me and I got a
All
buyer.
right.
Let's go. Uh, so I'll say, okay, and is this the coverage that you're is this coverage kind of exactly what you're looking for, Malik?
Yes, yeah, yeah. I want to make sure, yeah, that this is something I'm looking for the kids there.
Okay. Now, Malik, something to keep in mind before I show you your coverage options. I'll meet with you every year, so that way we can review your policy and can always go up or down. So this won't be the only time we meet. So again, we keep that in mind that we can always go up and down off that. Okay.
Okay.
So, Malik, I have three options for you. I have a silver, gold, and platinum option.
Okay.
And I guess I put in here in parentheses, like obviously make sure you explain why you're showing each number, especially with final expense and I guess with any other coverage
Absolutely.
out there, right? So I'm going to take my time when I'm going through it. I'll say, okay,
Sure.
so Malik, the silver option here, this is for the $5,000 in coverage. I'm always showing like a $5,000, even if they want a burial, I'm still going to show a $5,000 option just because these people's budget is generally really tight. And I want to give them something that's like $23, $25.
Okay.
So this would be again, I know you want to leave behind and cover the whole funeral expense, but this would at least help. I'm sure when your cousin passed away, if at least
Mhm.
5,000 came in, it would at least taken some of the financial pressure off, right?
I like this. You're explaining each and every one. Sorry, each and every option, and then you also tied it back into my why. That was gold there. So no matter whether you're showing burial or cremation, are you still showing the same price ranges for the options?
For most people, unless I find like something like unless their budget like really is, I had a lady the other day whose budget was $4,500 a month, which is very rare for FEX.
Okay.
Generally, 1,000 to 1,500 is, a good one is like 2 grand or more.
Okay.
They actually have a little bit more wiggle room. So with this one, I'm just showing like a stupid low option.
Okay.
And then also I kind of like give it that. I'll say, hey, so for this one, it'll be the silver option. That's gonna be $5,000 worth of coverage. This is gonna cover about half of what you need, but at least it's something. Something. Would you agree? Something's better than nothing.
Yeah, yeah, I would definitely agree there after seeing what happened. Yeah.
Yeah. The second option is gonna be the gold option.
Okay.
This would Malik. This is gonna cover the entire funeral cost.
Okay.
Okay, so that way again, when something happens, nothing's left for the family to have to figure out with the
Okay.
burial.
Okay.
And then the platinum option, this one was going to cover the entire funeral cost, plus is going to cover any extra expenses, whether it's travel costs for the family, or if they want to throw you a big catered meal for anyone that comes, a little bit extra. That'd be $15,000 worth of coverage. Okay.
Okay. I like that. Some travel expenses.
Um, and then Malik, now, which one of these would kind of give you the peace of mind that you're looking for for you and the family?
Um, I mean, I do want the extra travel expenses, maybe catering, and I do want some of that taken care of, but I'm not sure if I'll be able to squeeze that top option there.
Okay.
Maybe just taking care of the entire burial by itself without the travel expenses. I think that'll work for me there.
Okay. Now, Malik, that's what most of my clients go with is the gold option.
Hmm.
And again, like I said earlier, we can always review. We're going to review this every single year, so we can
Okay.
always add that additional coverage as maybe money changes a little bit. But
Hmm.
yeah, that's what most of my clients do as well. Is they do the gold option.
Okay.
Malik, if you could grab your driver's license, and once you do that, this is actually where I send my credentials. Leading up to this point, I don't like. I was actually getting hangups when I was like during that process, so I wait to the end and know their buyer
Hmm.
before I send it over to them.
Okay. I like that. Good to know. And what are you sending over for? Are you sending them a text or are you sending them like an email template?
Literally, the one I sent yesterday, I sent my national producer number, and I sent I think my license.
Okay.
It was, or I'm sorry, I sent the national producer number and the carrier sheet is what I sent yesterday.
On the carrier sheet. Okay.
Yeah. It
Okay.
was, I went through the whole thing and then I actually did get pushback when I went to the payment.
Okay.
He's like, well, I do need to again look around. And so I was just like, hey, Malik, that's again exactly like what we did today. Is I looked
Mhm.
through all the options as far as what you're going to qualify for to make sure that we're going to find you, to find you the best coverage. He's like, I know, and then he started reading off his card number. I was like, what the heck? Like, so it was a weird one, but again, went through and these clients are crazy, so I was able to help them
Like
out,
that.
and then just locked it down at the end. So
Okay. So you wait till they're a buyer, and then that's when you'll send everything over.
yep,
I was gonna ask as well because I mean I do sell final expenses mostly through the $50 lead. I'll usually sell mortgage protection, double back with the final expense. But I was gonna ask, do you say anything about even though they might come with the accelerated death benefit, do you say anything about that, or that just you just leave that as it is?
I personally don't,
Okay,
but
I don't
I'm
think I would
open
either.
to
Okay.
making adjustments.
Let me see. Okay, sorry, let me check the chat. Okay, lots of health issues. Yeah, a lot of GIWL. Let's see, health issues, yes. Yeah. Trends and oh yeah, SBLI, pretty lenient for sure with the pre-check. Claude said my first close on these leads, you're wasting my time. Stop wasting my time. You can't give me anything. Got him calm down and close. Excellent work. So yeah, SBLI for sure is pretty darn lenient as well. Oh, it was infected AIG because he had dementia. Okay. And then in terms of true billing, I think we went over this last time. AIG, they accept Direct Express, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
And then I know a lot of people are still getting it right now, but Transamerica, man, their new product is insane. I was looking for heart attack today, and most of them want to see like a year's worth of like time since the heart attack, and it showed like no time, there's no questions asked, preferred, which is
Wow.
insane. And they
Okay.
also, I think, at least for standard and neuropathy, like one of them is standard, I think one of them's preferred, which is crazy
Wow.
as well.
Th-
So
This
it's
is
like,
this is their new product that they were
yeah,
talking
this is
about?
a new
Okay.
product they came out with.
Okay.
And I think the comp's halfway decent on it and everything. So
Okay.
a couple of my agents are starting to get it in this week right now.
Wait, what's the name of the new product?
Or maybe it's just the FEX lead that or the FEX
Oh, okay, it just changed a little bit. Yeah, because the new app is
or maybe the new app, that's what it is.
it's
Oh, it's a
you.
new app.
And I heard it's super quick too.
Is it the pipeline app or what is it?
No, you go to Transamerica, find FE Express Solution. I don't know. I don't know if I can share my screen. I can show you, or maybe I can send a screenshot in the chat.
Yeah, there you go. You can share it now.
Oh, all right. So I was actually just pulling it up because I had to check on an app that I did. So your instinct is gonna be to go to this one.
Mhm.
That's the old one. That's the slow one. You want to do this.
Oh, Express Solution. Okay.
Yeah. I will say though, because I just did it last week. The one thing is like if they're like super old and not tech savvy, go with the old one because the halfway through signature, it's kind of them creating like an account, kind of.
Oh.
Mm.
Like they either get like they get texted a link and then they just have to like put in like their email and then verify their email and then they have like a Transamerica like client portal account and that's their verification. So if they're not
Um,
tech savvy, maybe don't do that one. But my guy was like
um,
75 and figured it out. So
okay.
Good to know.
Yeah, I just remember the old app that took me a minute to get through. So that's clutch. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Any other questions, guys? This was super helpful. I'm ready to rock and roll in these.
I have a question. Before we get off, the script that Michael that you were using,
Mhm.
is that accessible to us?
Absolutely. Yeah, if you shoot me over, let me throw my number in the chat. That'll probably be the easiest. I'll send it over right after.
The script is fire.
And all it is, like all it is, guys, is just like asking questions and like I'm trying to build rapport at the beginning with these clients. Because if I can get them a little rapport, get them laughing, doing something like that, then I can get them like through the FI and present numbers.
100%.
Tish, are you on here?
Yeah,
Okay, sorry to throw you on the spot, but I know yesterday was a little bit rough, right? Switch today. You already had what, 2 presentations this morning?
yeah.
Right.
It's already been way better.
Love it. Okay. So
Yeah,
I think that,
thank
that
you
was like
so
I
much.
think the biggest obstacle we're getting right now, just the initial objection where like you're getting like 20 seconds in, you're getting hung up on. So just by engaging the client earlier and asking questions, it just seems to be a much better.
Yeah, they seem more willing for sure.
Love it. And then Genesis first one this morning, she closed. So far so good.
That's so good.
Yep.
Yeah, this is well, I'll check to see, but yeah, I'm definitely gonna go over this training with some of my agents as well. So that was a big help. Thank you, Mike, Claudes, Tanner, everyone for chiming in today. The training will be posted in Discord training by end of the day, I believe. So we'll be able to watch this one back as well. Mike's numbers in the chat if you guys need the new script that we're running with. If you guys want to save the number in there, if you guys need that.
Absolutely.
Thank you for the training, Mike. That was fire.
Yeah, my pleasure. We'll get some of these other guys on here. They're crushing it as well. Let's do it.
100%. All right, we'll see you guys next Tuesday. If you guys have any questions in the meantime, please reach out. Let's take over the leaderboards. 100%, guys.
See you guys.
All right, you guys.